Have you been hearing about visual schedules, but maybe you're not sure exactly what it is or where to start or who might need one? Then you're in the right spot. Hi, I'm Amy Murray from Teaching Exceptional Kinders, and I am here to chat all things visual schedules today, and I'm chatting about individual picture schedules for just one individual student. Before we get too far into things, the reasons you might want to try a visual schedule. A student might struggle with transitioning from activity to activity, and a picture schedule provides more support in knowing what's coming next. A student who is having trouble complying with directions or just refusing to do what they need to do, visual schedule becomes the boss instead of you, and they have to follow their schedule. It's no longer the teacher's fault. It's the schedule's fault, so it's very helpful there. And students who just have general anxiety about school or their day and need to know what's coming next to help alleviate some of that anxiety and stress and help them to know and anticipate what to expect in their day. There's lots of reasons to use visual schedules. It's a pretty simple tool to implement as long as you keep a consistent schedule, which will also help with all of these things as well. All right. Like I said, I'm Amy Murray from Teaching Exceptional Kinders. You can find all my info and any links that I chat about today down below. While you're there, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our other videos on our especially helpful classroom management series from a former kindergarten teacher who always had the behavior kids in her classroom. All right, so let's chat about visual schedules. First of all, a visual schedule is just a picture schedule, a list of activities or things that a student needs to do with picture icons of some kind so they understand what it means. Now, a visual schedule can be used for like a micro part of the day, like maybe a student's really having trouble getting through library. And so you make a visual schedule. I turn in my book, I sit at my table, I listen to a story, I pick a new book, I wait in line to check out, and then I go back to class kind of thing. So it can be like a mini schedule, or it can be a schedule for the whole day, part of the day. It just depends on the need of your student. Then what could the schedule look like? Well, sometimes it looks like just a folder with a strip of Velcro and pictures that move. It can be that simple. Sometimes it's a little more structured and you have like your list of scheduled things, and then they can move it to done when they're finished. Sometimes it's a list with numbers, okay, and all their schedule things go in a number and then they pull them off throughout the day. The one big suggestion I have anytime you use a visual schedule is that the student is able to move the pictures off the schedule when they're completed. That is satisfying. It's sort of like checking something off a to-do list. Have you ever written something on a to-do list just so you could check it off? I have. And I think that moving those pictures off the schedule, off the to-do list, is very helpful and satisfying for the student. So that is a big piece of the puzzle. So I showed you a file folder is a great way to store your schedule, no matter how fancy it is. You can put like a envelope up here and put the schedule pieces in, and then down below could be their schedule, or it can be vertical as well if that's easier for you. You can also take a pre-made board and stick that in. There we go. And stick that in there and then have your extra pieces down below. It's up to you. It really doesn't matter how you choose to do it. Another way I have done it is with a pocket folder where the schedule can be glued to the front of the pocket folder, and then inside the pockets you can easily keep all of your little pieces that you might need for the next day. That way it's all in one space. So we talked about what the structure could look like, and then what should your pictures look like? Well, I have done schedules with real photos that I've taken of the different steps within our own classroom. And that's pretty powerful because they know exactly what it means, right? You take a picture of your math book. You take a picture of your music teacher, okay, your librarian, your cafeteria, and then they know what is next. That's not always feasible, and it's a little bit time consuming, especially if you're just trying this for one student. I do have clip art picture schedules in my TPT store and my website shop, then have all kinds of different pictures, okay, like tons of things, from like bathroom, pack up, unpack, science center, writing, reading, math, all the things that you can imagine throughout your day in there so that you can create your own schedule. So you print your pictures, run them through the laminator, and then you'll cut them out. I like to use Velcro. Velcro is the brand name. Hook and Loop is what it's technically called, but you know. These little dots I got on Amazon, I'll drop the affiliate link down below. They're great. My biggest suggestion is keep the soft side of the Velcro on your picture cards and the hard side of your Velcro, the rough side, on your schedule, or vice versa. That's just how I do it. But that way, you know, all your boards have one kind of the Velcro and all your pieces have the other kind of the Velcro, so you can mix and match and use them interchangeably that way. You can print them all out, print the ones you need, however you would like to do it. And then, like I said, cut and add your Velcro. Once you have that, you can use this forever, right? They're laminated, the pieces are ready to use, so you can use it day after day, year after year. So there is a little bit of prep time at the beginning, but once it's prepped, you're good as long as it holds up with the lamination. All right, so here is what an example of like a morning schedule might look like, and then you'd switch it for the afternoon. So we have class meeting, our read aloud, then we have our small group, like your used to be called guided reading, your reading groups, and maybe a writing, lunch, followed by math or recess. Got your recess button ready. And so then as the student goes through the day after class meeting, they move their schedule, and you can say, check your schedule. And they move it. And now they know that read aloud's next. And every time they move to the done as they go through, and it's visually, they can see that they're getting closer and closer to the end, which is helpful for a lot of things. The other thing that I can't stress enough is a schedule. When you use it and you say, check your schedule, what's next? Instead of you saying, oh, it's time for read aloud, go move your schedule. You want to say, check your schedule. Make the schedule the boss. They can't argue with a piece of paper. They can argue with you, and they will try to argue with you, but they can't argue with this because it won't talk back. So you just say, oh, look, your schedule. Check your schedule. It says, oh, read aloud's next. Okay, we're done with read aloud. What's next on your schedule? That way they're following the schedule and not you, which can eliminate a lot of those unwanted behavior issues and power struggles throughout your day. Speaking of power struggles, a visual schedule is great for a lot of the things we talked about. Sometimes it's as simple as a first then board, right? Still using our visuals, still, laminating and having them all ready. But this is, okay, first we need to get through small group. Once we get through small group, you may have your snack, okay? Or pairing an undesired with a desired activity or reward or whatever it looks like for your student. But let's say they have a really hard time in math. Math is frustrating for them. So you put math here, and they love snack, or they love iPad time, or whatever it is they love goes next. So I'm just thinking of a kiddo who I had who did not like to work with me in small groups because it was hard. He was held accountable for his academics in that small group. He didn't want to do it, but he loved snack time. So when we got done with small group, check your board. Look, you finished small group. Now you may have your snack. And just teaching them that sometimes we have to do something we don't want to do first, but we will get to the thing that we want to do. We just can't always be doing that other thing. All right, so that is how to set up and use the visual schedules. Like I said, I like to use a pocket folder, or some way to keep all of your extra pieces. You can slide an envelope right inside of there. Right? So all your extra little pieces can go right inside of your envelope. And that envelope goes in the folder along with your first then board and any of your schedule. Now you could put your schedule right on the front if you'd rather. That schedule can also go right inside the folder. Everything's in one place, and the schedule can easily move from teacher to teacher, class to class, wherever the student goes. He's got his schedule and the pieces, and that is very helpful in providing consistency and support to your students who need it the most. All right, I would love to hear if you have tried visual schedules, how they're going in your classroom. If you have any questions for me, just leave them down in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you do have more questions for me and you want to get in touch, here is all of my contact information. And until next time, have an exceptional day.